Okay, for these problems, make sure that you label this A, B, C. I'm not sure if this is the issue that you're running into, but it's to solve for X, it's the opposite of B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC, all divided by 2A. Okay, so since B is 12, it's going to be opposite of 12 plus or minus the square root of 12 squared minus 4 times A, which is 4, times C, which is -5, all divided by 2 times my A, which is 4. Okay, so this is going to be -12 plus or minus the square root of 12 squared is 144. Negative is positive. 4 times 5 is 20, times 4 is 80, all divided by 2 times 4, which is 8. All right, so this is -12 plus or minus the square root of, well, 144 plus 80 is, well, 4 plus 0 is 4, 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 1, 224, divided by 8, okay? And so this is -12 plus or minus the square root of 224. So let's reduce that. 224. Well, I know I can factor out a 2 from this, which would give me 1, 1, 2. I know I can factor out a 2 from this. 2 goes into 11 5 times, which leaves me 12, which is 56. And I can factor out a 2 from that. That gives me what? 2. So that gives me 4, 16, 28. 2 goes into 28 4 times. 2 goes into 14 7 times, okay? And now we have all primes, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's and a 7, okay? And we have to bring these out in pairs. So 1, 2, they come out as an individual 2. Individual 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And since there's not a pair for that 2, I have to leave it under. There's not a pair for the 7, so I have to leave that under. So that's 2 times 7, which is 14. So this gives me 4 square roots of 14 divided by 8. Now, I notice that I have a 12, a 4, and an 8. I can't do anything with this with anything under the square root, okay? So you can't divide out there, but you can do this with these numbers, okay? Well, let's divide everything by 2. Well, that divided by 2 is 4. This divided by 2 is 2, and this divided by 2 is 6. Okay, well, I can go ahead and see that I have a 6, a 2, and a 4. Again, I can factor out another 2 from this. That gives me 1, and that gives me 3. So this gives me -3 plus or minus 1 times the square root of 14, which is the square root of 14 over 2. Now, to get this into derivative, what you want to do is you want to put the numerator piece in parentheses. So it's going to be -3 plus or minus your square root of 14, close your parenthesis, then divide that by 2. Okay? Now, if you wanted to further split that up, that would be -3 plus the square root of 14. Put that in parentheses, divided by 2, and then you have -3 minus the square root of 14. Again, that's all in parentheses, divided by 2. Okay, so those are your 2 answers for this problem. Now, again, depending on derivative, if you can't do the square root like this, you can do -3 plus square root 14. And then make sure that there's a grouping symbol on the outside, divided by 2. What these grouping symbols do is it tells you that everything inside the grouping symbol stays together, okay? So this stays together. That means it's all on top of the square root, or I'm sorry, on top of the fraction. And I think that might be where the issue is. So go ahead and try that, okay?